Is this it? I want to see if I can hear the fan. Is this it? I want to see if I can hear the fan. Is this it? I want to see if I can hear the fan. Is this it? I want to see if I can hear the fan. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Some weird ass loop there. Alright, let's see if I can...
It appears that Call of Duty just hates me personally as a human being, so today we're gonna have to do something very different on spectating Rebirth. Hello, screen friends. Yesterday they put out a playlist update for this video game. I was very short and like almost positive. Wow, move it, God. Very positive that they were gonna Rebirth solos back in, but unfortunately they did not. Instead, what they did was leave the playlist the exact same as it was the week before and not put out a tweet about it. I feel like they're just, oh my God, this is exactly what we came here for. But today we're gonna have to do something a little different. We are spectating Rebirth duos. I solo squatted in because I'm not flaming piece of shit that's gonna ruin someone else's gaming experience. We're gonna do exactly what we do during solos. I'm gonna splat, we're gonna find a demon, we are gonna watch them and count how many kills they get. But the wrinkle is that we're gonna be counting up the duos total kills. So I'm gonna have to flip between POVs a little bit. And honestly, guys, I have no idea how this is gonna go. If you like it, that's cool, let me know. If you hate it, also, I guess let me know. Ignorance is sometimes bliss. If you are one of those people that do like it, you can subscribe if you would like to.
I need to see if this shit's streaming right, since it wouldn't let me watch it the other one. How bad is the fan noise? Bad is the fan noise? Bad is the fan noise?
Here we, I was really hoping to just kick it off in style by breaking the glass. Oh wait, someone already did a fancy contract over here. Let's go ahead and just see what they're doing, because I feel like that's the thing that good players do, good squads do. These guys are playing like a wolf pack here. Hello, wolf pack. It's me, Lazy Dog. I just got team shot by TTV L Brown. Let's see the beams, huh? I mean, just turn and burn. One of my big worries about this, by the way, these are both 1050s, King Ding and L Brown. Both have 1 kill. My big worry is that sometimes duos on this map just people die really, really quickly. We're gonna run a Kar 98 and a finally, someone not running the STG. I think King Ding already has specialists from that crate, so they had to play Will They Won't They, and they decided to pick it up. But sometimes duos on this map plays a little bit interesting. Now they both got personal loadout crates too. These guys are just swimming in it. They're gonna try to get this bounty up on top here. Can't make it that way. This is the very dangerous area to be, and we just heard someone further to the left, right there. Yeah, they're calling everything out. Nice shot. The Moab, too. I mean, that was just a thing of beauty. Perfectly orchestrated. We are watching a master duo in work. They're going to gas grenade that guy potentially to death, and then go try to find their teammate. They have their mastery camos. King Din is running an STG, and I'm assuming a static. They can't make up their mind who's going to take the money, and they just saw someone else top of this building in living quarters. I dropped here the other day with a random duo, and it was actually incredibly sweaty. I guess we'll do the leaderboard like this. Uh-oh. Wow. Teammates are right there. They haven't been more than 5 meters away from each other the entire game, and I don't even use the metric system. I've heard from a lot of you, too, that a lot of people are solo duoing, and that's what I like, except like if you solo duo this duo right here, you're dead. You're gonna die. You can't kill 2 people at the same exact time. These guys are playing for the win and simply put, nothing else. 3 kills now for King Din. That gives her a total of 4. Gonna take the roof here and see if anyone else is lurking up on top, and indeed, they are. Got it down. They probably snuck off the back. They're gonna get rezzed by the teammate if they are around. That's all right though, because Brownie's flying at it. Where are they? Where'd they go? Not sure. They still haven't gotten the kill for it.
No, that's enough of Kevin. All right, let's take it back. I suck. Didn't I fucking tell it to quit? I told it to fucking exit the last time. Alright, this is gonna be terrible. I don't quite understand the point of the game. Yeah. God, why does it have to be circle X? Why can't it be circle circle? It's a new one for me. Past. Stop. set timer for 2 hours.
All right, 2 hours. Starting now.
Fuck that level. Better. Any better? How about now? Yo! How about fan noises? That's not too bad. This over here I can hear. Hmm. I don't know how the fuck I jumped over that door. Oh my god. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? Leave me alone! Every fucking time I get up there. Why can't I grab? Oh my god. I fucking hate that game. Loser! Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, you motherfucker. I had one until that motherfucking thing. to see. Ah. Yo. Yeah. Okay. Can I still hear? I don't think I can.
A little bit too chaotic. Before I dropped in, I was like, duos is probably pace for spectating because I can only flip between POVs so quickly. We're gonna stim though, King. I mean, Specialist Tracker is gonna really pay dividends, but now they're little split guys. Not anymore. They found their way back to each other. They were like, guys, get back to the chopper. Yeah, you can run. This is the big F, guys. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I spent a lot of time saying it's impossible to kill these two, but they're split again. That's exactly what they want. The other issue is in duos, it's very hard to get off of POV sometimes because, well, say King Brownie dies right here, right? They're chasing this guy around. Say they die. It's gonna be pretty quick and easy to be able to get your boy back if you're running around and shooting your gun. Not easy if you can't hit the zip line. Yeah, that was exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I don't know who killed them, but now it's all up to King Den. And they're definitely just gonna run away and try to play their life to get their boy back. It's like, that's honestly the smart and responsible thing to do. Told you, 10 seconds. Uh-oh. They're looking. And now Quicks, who was their bounty, it finally expired. The bounty flipped the Uno reverse card. is just gonna have to do all of this over again. Now, granted, Brownie just came back in, or is coming back. Have their guns. I think they're gonna. I thought they were gonna try to land up top. Apparently not. We're gonna go down here and just grab some ground loot. Right now, our kill total, by the way, is 6. I feel like it's incredibly hard to put up a massive game in duos, and it's even harder for me to find that POV. Now we're lagging around, and the UAV is going up. So let's see if they can find it. Their bounty now is Jay the Snowman. Could be a cocaine reference. Could just be a fact that they love the movie Frozen. Now Brownie's got their guns back. I believe they are rocking. Yeah, this is that a Kar 98 camo or is this like a nuke camo? I honestly can't tell. They sometimes make those camos just so similar to what you can actually get if you unlock some crazy achievement. Another UAV up, and yes, guys, you guessed it. They are, King Den, you're lagging everywhere. They are sitting right on each other's hips. I have my prox chat on, so if we hear any natural duos in the game, like someone who just random squad, we'll actually hear what they're saying. But I would imagine, given these two guys' teamwork, they are in a Discord call. And right now, it appears that King Din is taking a dump or something, and Brownie's just watching over them. What do you see, Brownie? Nothing? Yeah, I didn't think so. Resurgence is ending, guys. We only have 6 other players left. A lot of solos out there right now. I just did some quick mental math. We're gonna get, yeah, we're gonna get that. Is King Den still chilling? Indeed they are. It's okay, guys. Brownie's back. Just watching over their teammate. Okay, never mind. Din's back. Again, total is still at 6. I believe we're gonna take the gondola up to top prison. Watch these 2 guys. 2 guys, 1 gondola. Oh, we saw a guy floating top there. They're about to just jump out of here like a spider monkey. Here we go. They got eyes on. He's on the backside. Dropping. I don't know, reasons. Just live ping. Yep, they're right over there. We're gonna crouch. And then we're gonna snipe. Nice shot. That means Din is now about to get the push and get the kill. I'm glad I can switch between these. Ooh, wait. This complicates things a great deal. It's all up to Brownie now to bring it home. They're still looking around for this guy. Din died with 4 kills. That means there we go. We're in a little duel. How's this gonna work? Oh, you're getting smoked? That either means you're getting pushed or pre-fired with someone using a thermal scope. Little mouse here. I believe this person's solo doing, or they just like their duo's dead. Yeah, Brownie and this guy up here are both duo orphans. 4 other players left. Donde. They didn't take their specialist. Big miss. I mean, they might have already had it. Brownie just got a high alert ping. That's a different skin, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think we're looking
any difference
for that guy.
So
and if they're playing a duo, they just did a amazing pincer formation. It's Jay the Snowman, coked out of his mind. How many kills is he gonna have?
Come on!
Jay is the level 856, and Recent is a level 1050. They're looking for 1 other person. That's it. 1 other. Uh-oh, they found
what?
Him.
Come on,
man. This is about to be
man.
the upset of the century. About to be the upset of the century. Jay is dead. It's all on Recent now. And he's gonna go over and try to. Oh, he has a flare. Smart, clever boy.
Upset of the
You got him
century.
back, but now you're being chased. You better just finesse for your life here. Jay's getting beamed out of the air. That was tough. You can go buy him back again if you want.
No.
Honestly, that's kind of what I would do. You have a gas mask. You have $7,000. Might as well. You're precisioning them. You're not even super worried about them looking off at you. But I think I just heard him sliding. They're right
Now,
above you.
will it mute? Hey!
Boy. Is it gonna work? Probably not. But you gotta get up to the roof ASAP, because if they try to beam your boy Jay out of the air, you need to be ready to get that trade. Jay definitely didn't even put any bullets into him. Gas mask is broken. We're gonna shell this at not full strength.
Is this the right one? Ah, shit. No, that's not the right one. Oh, and that might be the right one because I don't have that. When you here before, couldn't look you in the eye. I might go down a little bit more. Did it freeze again? I think it froze. When you here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. And I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice, and I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, and I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, she's running out the door. She's running out. She's run, 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 whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. Anywho, let's go split PS or split cam.
As the top of the screen suggests, we are only 4 days away from a new season, the final season, Season 6 of Warzone. Which usually
What's that,
always
Kevin?
brings about them changing, buffing, nerfing, making guns better, worse, likely taking a fun playlist out of the game and putting something in no one wants to play. But there has been one gun that every single update they have made better. That has not happened with any other weapon in the game. And I, of course, talking about the MCW. So today we're going to find out if it's already the meta or if it's about to be the meta in, I don't know, 4 or 3 days. It makes a compelling argument to be considered among the Warzone AR meta right now. It has
Kevin,
low recoil,
where's your
a
video
fast
at?
fire rate, and actually, over the course of the game, a very competitive damage range. The only thing holding it back is that, well, honestly, guys, the STG exists, but I would expect them to change that around here pretty soon. Because they've taken solos out of the game, I want to test this out in the sweatiest version of the game I possibly could. So we're gonna go play Rebirth Quad with random people, apparently a level 20 named Scrock97. Wouldn't hate it if we got a few more players on our team. There we go, a Hannibal. Only 3 out of 4, but 1 person eats humans. This is gonna be very interesting because the entirety of this lobby, let me just go out to third person. Every single red chemtrail you see here is gonna be using the STG or the Car 98. I have a way of guaranteeing that 100% no, but like, let's make an educated guess here, people. Use our critical thinking.
It's like generally, I don't
nervous.
think
I could. I'm not that type of drummer that could just hear a song
That-
and play it.
like seriously, this is the first time you ever
just have to
heard
ask,
of
You've never heard that before.
I've never heard that song.
That is
Rage.
mind blowing to me.
Oh my god.
Drumeo strikes again.
Oh my god. It's really gonna put me in my place. Drummers, do not hate me for this. My name is Jess.
that Lori Loomer bitch. She is fucking nuts. Oh my goodness. Let's see how
On our
Linus
last
fucks
episode
shit
of
up.
Linus Tech Disasters, one of the custom liquid-cooled gaming machines in my home rack sprung a leak, pouring gallons of water over every system beneath it. And my initial thought was, oh, I forgot to screw in a fitting. But as it turned out, despite taking precautions to prevent it, it wasn't a fitting not being screwed in.
Corrosion.
It was a fitting completely corroding off of the block. Maybe some of the metals in our loop are incompatible. Nope. After spending hours inspecting them, every other system's fittings were spotless. Not a hint of corrosion to be seen. I was so dumbfounded that I turned to the YouTube comments for help, and it actually worked. There was a strong consensus on what the problem was. So today, with the help of Pulseway, who sponsored this video, we're gonna hopefully rectify this silent killer and add a remote monitoring system so that if there ever is another leak, hey, at least I'll know about it before I come home at the end of the day and find that my computer peed itself. The first really good community theory was that the fancy fuel hose we were using as our tubing might use steel webbing to reinforce it, which could introduce galvanic corrosion. But this was actually due to a miscommunication on my part. It's not fuel hose, it's a general purpose hose, and it uses a textile reinforcement rather than steel, so we could scratch that one. Another interesting theory was that a micro crack in the Delrin plastic of the GPU block might have allowed the steel screws that hold it down to come in contact with the water. But a close visual inspection reveals no cracks, and threading for all of those screws is completely clean, which suggests that no corrosion occurred there. A third theory was that a flaw in the plating of the affected fittings could allow galvanic corrosion to occur with the underlying metal, which would explain why some of them were eaten while others remained perfect. But the thing is, when you, or EK in this case, is designing anything that involves metal and water, galvanic corrosion is something that they carefully consider. So, while the most obvious way to avoid corrosion is to never mix metals, there are many metals that are safe to mix, especially when they're not directly connected. And the underlying material of these fittings is brass, which, anodic index, should be fine with the copper and other metals in our loop. Should be fine. The story changes when you apply a voltage, and well, we obviously weren't intentionally doing that. When you have a large power draw in one spot, like a couple thousand watts of computers in a rack, and a low power draw in another spot, like a couple hundred watts from a pump, you're going to end up with a difference in voltage between them, which accelerates corrosion dramatically and can make compatible metals far less compatible.
But the good news is, for this solution, oh boy, we don't have to worry about the details. This is an isolation transformer, and you might be familiar with transformers. You would use one to take like a low voltage and make it a higher voltage, or vice versa.
To run your sewing machine from Asia.
Yeah, if you're in a different country, that's a big one.
Yeah.
In this case, it's 120 volt on both sides. You see that? Made in Canada. Thanks, Hammond Manufacturing. But it decouples the circuit, giving us galvanic isolation, or preventing a loop.
So in a nutshell, we're taking anything that's plugged into this guy and we're giving it absolutely no path back to the main panel.
It's almost like Wi-Fi for your electricity.
I feel like our analogies are making this worse. The point is, no voltage difference.
Wrap it before you tap it.
Oh,
Where
Jake.
do we want to put this thing? How about up here?
On top of the tank? The tank full of water?
I mean, it should be fine, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Realistically, while we're here, I should probably have the pumps running off the UPS.
you'd have to run an extension cord all the way over there.
Conveniently,
Is that an extension cord that's
Oh, yeah.
all the way right there?
yeah, I really don't think that's long
I don't think
enough,
it's worse than that.
though. Yeah, I don't think it's long enough.
Look how long that is. That's a 25-footer. It'll work. You want to bet everyone's lunch on it? If I'm right, you pay for everyone's lunch. If I'm wrong, nothing happens.
Fine. It has to go all the way down to plug into the bottom UPS. It has to be managed.
Sure. He's literally trying to cable manage as much as possible to prevent it from reaching.
Dude, these are so satisfying.
I will admit, they are quite good.
LTTstore.com, let's go.
That might be the best thing you've ever done.
My kid's right there.
What? No, he's not.
Oh, he's somewhere. It's gonna be so fun when you lose.
Wow, it reaches. No way. You're buying everyone's lunch. Get wrecked.
Fine.
Even though I owe him lunch technically.
Yeah. One of the big things that you guys said was, hey, no matter what caused this problem, you should really have monitoring in place so that if it were to ever happen again, you would know.
And on top of that, we can make automation so if there's a leak, shut off the pumps.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Theoretically, everything is fine now,
Wait, I mean,
but
maybe.
but that doesn't mean we're gonna stop here. Okay, what's next?
Grounding.
Grounding. All right, you're not going out for a week.
Says who? You gonna stop me?
I have your stepdad's number.
Keyword being step.
Are you gonna take that?
He might actually see this.
To take things to another level, we're gonna follow another recommendation that came up a lot in the comments. Some of you noticed that I never grounded my rack. While the systems themselves are theoretically grounded using the third prong of the plug that we plug into them, the rack itself is not necessarily connected to ground. So we got a whole bunch of these grounding leads, and then what? We just connect these from the back of every chassis to the rack?
You could, but we also got this. Here, catch.
Ooh.
Like a grounding bus bar. So you just stick that in the rack and then screw all the little thingies onto it. Cable manages.
No, we got this, we got this. Okay,
Oh, that just barely fits.
yeah, so that could go right there. It's almost like it's made for a rack.
Naturally, we have to ground our grounding bar to something for it to work as a grounding bar. Unfortunately, the rack is a bit of a ways from the panel, and our electrician who is going to do this properly for us is unavailable today. So instead, we're going to have to open up the panel and tie the wires directly into the grounding bar. It also means I didn't have the correct wire, so Linus happened to have these like two pretty thick gauge wires. So we're going to use those instead. I also didn't have the correct connectors, so I cut these Hammond ones, butt connected them onto the long wire, and now we have the right connector. Is this how you should do this? Probably not. But it's just a ground. It's probably. Right, Reese?
I don't know what
Got it? Hey, it worked. There we go, grounded. I'm gonna let Linus be the one to open the panel and stick his fingers in there because it's his house. We're just gonna leave this for now. Hammond sent us these sick little grounding kits, and they have little just blade connectors. So you hook one side up to the server, one side up to the grounding bar, and then if you need to take the server out for some reason, you can easily disconnect it. Let's try it with one of Linus's mass units here. Let's unscrew that. Look at that. Wow. Now we just repeat like 10 times. While Reese works on getting all the systems grounded, let's talk sensors. We have 3 different types, starting with our leak sensor, although calling it a sensor might be, a bit generous. This is basically just like 2 wires. You apply voltage to one side, and as your leak bridges the gap with water, it creates an electrical connection between the other side, and on that side you're just sensing for any voltage. So when there's no water, it should be 0 volts-ish, and when there is water, say if we did 5 volts on this side, it'll probably show like 1 or 2 volts on this side. So that works. And then we've got a flow sensor. This one is really just to tell us if, say, the water runs out or the pump stops working, which would obviously be bad because then the water inside the computers would boil, which might cause a leak. This way we can notify ourselves if the water is not flowing, and then we've also got a little float switch. Very simple. This one, if it's at the bottom, current passes. If it's at the top, current doesn't pass. So we stick it in the water tank here at the top, and we can tell if it's full or not. I shit you not, this is how we're going to test it later. But before we can install it, we have to drain the loop, which is going to be interesting. This valve is open, and nothing is coming out. I saw a comment. Somebody said they had experience with hose bibs like that, and they said that some of the manufacturers started using really crappy, cheap materials in them that are not necessarily compatible with plumbing. And I just looked up in there, and you know what I saw? Corrosion. I read the comment, and I was like, this is too stupid to be true. Linus! Guess what doesn't happen when you open this hose bib?
No.
You're ballsy. Stick your phone light up there.
Uh-oh.
Can you imagine if that's literally what caused all of this?
You've got to be kidding me. Modern water cooling was exactly the same thing. It was a vendor cheaping out on the parts.
Yeah.
That reservoir was supposed to be stainless
I
steel,
mean, you should just use a plastic one.
but it wasn't made of stainless steel.
I use a plastic one.
Yeah, you also were the one who spec'd this supposedly brass hose bib, smart guy.
I bought it from a plumbing store.
So it looks like we were both bamboozled. You don't get to be all,
Yeah, but at least my idea looked like a good one. It's also good that I got this particulate filter.
yeah,
I found one that's plastic, actually.
Oh,
It's
super
polypropylene, I think?
nice.
Oh, no, it's polyester. It's like a t-shirt, basically.
What are these made of?
Well, those are metal, but that's the same type that's already in the loop. Because I don't feel like going to the plumbing store, and because I don't trust things ever again, I'm going to make my own valve. I've got a little guy and a little valve. Hey, look, I fixed the leak. It's gonna get water everywhere. We have to make sure that we put it the right way. There's these very helpful arrows that I should follow. Oh, look, I even drew arrows on the tubes. So I just match the arrow with the arrow, and then I can't screw it up. Hey, Reese, you leak tested this filter, right? Filter installed. Is that closed? Beautiful. Water in the filter, yay. The sensors are great and all, but they don't exactly work without something to read them. In the past, we've bought little like relay or input-output boards for Z-Wave or Wi-Fi on Amazon. But if you've seen anything about how Linus's wireless has been working, I wanted something hardwired. And then I stumbled upon a company called Sequent Microsystems, which sounds super nerdy, and to be honest, it kind of is. All they sell are these custom home and industrial automation boards. And this one, which is a Raspberry Pi hat, plugs into a Raspberry. This one has 16 universal sensors on it. That means we could handle all 7 of the gaming computers in here for leak sensors. We could put a couple on the floor, our 2 sensors, and still have room to spare. It was a little complicated to get set up, but they actually had really good customer service. The guy was emailing me back within the hour responding. They have a bunch of different boards. You can get ones that have some sensors, some power outputs. You can get ones that have MOSFETs. You can get ones that have just serial. Like, they make a lot of different products, and it's actually pretty awesome. This one in particular requires separate power. So you plug in a 5-volt power lead here, and then it powers the Raspberry Pi through it directly. There's also a battery for a real-time clock that's on the board that they use for hardware monitoring. So if the Raspberry Pi becomes unresponsive, this board can reboot the Raspberry Pi. It's one of those things where you wouldn't really think about it for a house setup, but if you were stuffing this in a wall somewhere for industrial controls, want to make sure this thing is operational, and if there's an issue, it fixes itself. Imagine if you had like 200 of them, right? In a perfect world, I'd just hook that sensor pin right up to this board and be done with it. But unfortunately, electronics can sometimes be a bit more complicated. In our case, we need to add something called a pull-up resistor. And that just makes sure that when there's no pulse being sent, the sensor reads a high signal, like close to our voltage around 5 volts. If we didn't have that, the sensor wire can actually sometimes float between ground and 5 volts, which looks a lot like a pulse, which obviously we don't want. The pull-up resistor makes sure it's only ever reading the correct value, so it's very important to add. If you had an Arduino that was reading the sensor instead, they actually have a pull-up pin mode, which does it on the board. But in our case, we're just gonna add one on this board, and in the future, we'll just solder it into a piece of wire and be done with it.
Does the flow sensor work?
Yeah, we literally just finished wiring it. Let me start a screen recording here.
Is it in like a Home Assistant or like what is it
So-
going to control this?
No, it can be if you want.
Right now, I just wrote a little script. Obviously, we have to interpret the data because all we're getting is pulses. Luckily, they just give you a formula. You take the pulses per second, or hertz, and divide by 5.5. That's your liters per minute. So I made a little script to do that.
Cool. Hey, 9 liters per minute.
So we're getting roughly, almost exactly 50 pulses per second, 50 hertz.
That's the heartbeat of the whole setup.
And if we go to the other sensor, which I did flow 2,
It's off.
Right.
No flow.
Oh, no flow to the pool right now.
So what we'll do is adjust this script to send that data to the Pulseway API,
Right.
and then we can make whatever workflows we want in Pulseway. And then on top of that, we can just make a little script that sends it to Home Assistant if you want.
Super
Home Assistant also allows like custom components, so you could have it on your phone. Now that the pool loop is refilled and running, we should be able to take a look at our flow from both of the pumps. I found this cute little terminal app called TTY Plot, and you can plumb data from a script to it, and it makes a little graph in your terminal. It's very cute. This top one is the local loop, so if I adjust the speed on the pump here, right now it's on low. If we go to high, hey, look at that! This is the outdoor loop, only pushing around 5 liters per minute, which is pretty low. And then the indoor loop seems to hang out around 10.
5 liters per minute?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, hey, look, everything's grounded.
Yeah, look at that.
It's all grounded. You won't be out for weeks.
We were we were overthinking it. Each of them we just found a screw and put it underneath the screw.
Oh, that's great.
The only thing is we didn't ground it into the panel yet, so it's not technically grounded to anything.
Right.
I did run the wire over there,
Oh, okay.
mostly.
Is this you?
Yeah, I grounded it.
Okay.
We should probably shut the panel off before we open it.
Where's the one for this? Oh, this one.
Oh my gosh, okay.
This is not an insulated screwdriver and is not rated for electrical work. The only reason I'm doing this is because this panel is completely off, de-energized. I do not recommend this. Don't try it at home, etc. Oh my goodness, who put this in here? This screw is, it's like, it's shallow. It's just camming out every
Can I
time.
try to do it?
Hold on. We might not even need it.
My god. Oh my god.
0.
0.
Okay, so everything in here is safe.
I mean,
Well,
we hope. The rack is hooked up now. See? You got a little ground cable going in there. Definitely not spliced inside the panel. That one. Now that the flow sensors are working, let's wire up a leak sensor. Like I mentioned before, we have to apply power to one side. So we'll plug this into 5 volt here. And then the other side, instead of getting a pull-up resistor, gets a pull-down resistor. Functions in a very similar way, but instead of pulling the voltage up to your kind of voltage supply level, it's pulling it down to 0 because the path goes to ground. The last thing we've got to do is adjust the sensor on the board to be a 0 to 10 volt sensor. So we can see that it's reading about 0.17 volts when in theory nothing is connected. Okay, if I bridge this now with a screwdriver, which is metal, it goes from like 0.1 volts right up to 5, which makes sense. When I let go, there's no path, and it reads 0.14. Now we just need to try it with some water. Hey, it immediately registered 0.5 volts. Now, instead of printing this to the terminal, let's send this data to Pulseway. Fortunately for us, Pulseway has a cool feature called custom fields, and it allows you to attach custom bits of data to systems, an entire site. You can do it globally if you want. Typically, you would use this with their script systems, say if you wanted to store the BitLocker keys for all the systems on your network, or the Windows licenses, check battery data, things that you would only need to read like once a day or something like that. But in our case, we want to read these sensors like every 5 seconds. Fortunately, they also have an API. So we can just edit our little script instead of printing it to the console, send it to the Pulseway API, and then that's the data. While I don't technically need the Pulseway agent running on our sensor Raspberry Pi, I'm going to install it anyways because then we can have monitoring. Obviously, if the sensor Raspberry Pi dies, that would be not great, and we'd want to know about that. Once it is installed, it's really easy to connect to the account. They actually have a command called like Pulseway registration. Just go register, no proxy, custom server, yes. It just plops out this big QR code. And bam, it updates the config file and starts running Pulseway. We should be able to see it in the Pulseway window now. Hey, look at that. In-house sensor Pi 4. Now let's send some data. I went ahead and created a couple custom fields for Pulseway. One for the flow rate of the loop inside the house, and one for the flow rate of the loop that goes to the pool. And then when we run this, output, updated account, 9.45. And then if we go to the site, if we go to Sebastian, Dreamhouse, custom fields, we can see that it's 9.5. Let's see if it stays that way. I go ahead and turn the pump down. Boom, 8.72. Perfect. Now we just have to install Pulseway on some machines so we can make them turn off when bad things happen. We're first going to make a workflow in Pulseway. I made one here called Shut Off Water-Cooled Computers. Ideally, you would make a system group and then put all the systems in it, but for now we're just going to use this one, which is LAN 5, just manually. I'm creating this as an ad hoc workflow, which means you have to manually trigger it, but you can also set them up to run on a schedule, say like every day at 2 a.m. Or you can set it to run based off of a notification, like CPU usage too high or disk full. Then we just say shut down. And there isn't an option to just shut off a computer because this is like an IT management solution, right? Generally, you don't want to like fully shut off a computer because now you can't manage it anymore. They do have an option for reboot, but we're going to say execute power shutdown, shut down. I'm also going to add a send email task if the condition check fails, because it would be a little weird for this workflow to get triggered and then the custom field read a value that's fine. Like there's something wrong at that point. So we should get notified if that's the case. If the flow goes below 1 liter per minute, it should shut off LAN 5. It should have done it. Did it do it?
I wouldn't say that.
It's definitely run the
You're
workflow.
about to be signed out. Windows will shut down in less than a minute.
What? No way. Wait, it's going to shut down in a minute, it says?
It says less than a minute. She's shutting down, boys. Well, that's
Maybe I need to
great.
adjust that to make it a little more urgent in terms of the shutting down, but not bad.
Yeah. And when we combine that with the leak sensors, basically you can set it so that in the event that something goes bad, everything shuts off.
The last part of our little electronic project here is being able to turn the pumps on and off. So if we detect a leak from one of the leak sensors, we can shut off the pump and limit the amount of water that gets out and the amount of damage. How do you do that? With relays. Each of these is a 40 amp, 250 volt relay, which is way overkill for what we need. I can just plug a serial cable into this, which is in this case an Ethernet cable, and plug the other side into our sensor board, and then control this remotely from the Raspberry and the sensor board. That means we can put this right next to the pumps, run an Ethernet cable back over here, and Bob's your uncle, we can control the pump remotely. Long term, I think we could mount it in the big isolation transformer box. That actually has a switch already, so we could probably just wire this up to the switch, but for now we're just going to do this. This is not my finest work, but I've spliced the relay in between the load wire on this power bar. And these are all connected with Lego nuts, so they should be relatively safe. And if we plug this in, this power bar should not be powered. Dun dun, dun dun. Power bar, not powered. That's good. Now, let's plug in the relay board. It does need its own source of power, specifically 12 volt instead of 5 volt this time. So we'll wire that up here. There's also a few dip switches you want to toggle. On this board, we enable TX and RX, and then the termination switch, and then we just did the termination switch on this side. That's because each of these is the end device. If you had a bunch in between daisy chains, you would just turn the termination one on each one on the end. If the board is mounted directly on the Raspberry Pi, we could use their command line library directly, but instead since it's going over serial, I had to turn off the serial functionality on there, so it's just passing through, and then enable serial on the Raspberry Pi, and in theory, hey, cool, see him clicking? Now, we can plug this in. You ready? On. See that's lit up? And then we go off. Now I just gotta make a little script to toggle it based on the leak sensor and hope it works.
So we've done the demo where if the pump fails, the systems turn off. But what we haven't demoed is if a leak sensor gets triggered, the pump turns off.
Well, let's do it.
Okay.
I'll go lick a leak sensor. 5 volts not gonna hurt. I've licked a battery before. It's
But how many amps is
5
it?
amps, it's fine.
5 amps?
Yeah.
I wouldn't lick that.
I'm gonna lick it.
I wouldn't lick that.
You do it.
Well, make sure you get it on camera.
Fine, I won't lick it. I'll just dip it in the water on the floor.
Go for it.
And dip. Oh my god.
Right, we've got a light on that same power bar.
Oh, well did the flow stop?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, now let me unlick.
Okay, obviously we have to fix up the wiring here a little bit.
Is it going?
And she's going.
Hey!
So theoretically, well, there's a lot more protections than there were before.
Most of them are just sitting on the concrete floor, so if it leaks, I'm sure they'll work great. I have a box, we'll put it all in. We'll make it nice.
You know what else will work great?
Pulseway, who sponsored today's video. You should try a free trial of Pulseway today, and as a member of our audience, you can save 40% on all of Pulseway's plans. Just go to lmg.gg.
This is an interesting one to me. X is banned in Brazil. A panel of Brazilian Supreme Court justices has decided to uphold a countrywide ban on X. This was specifically in response to the company refusing to appoint a legal representative in the country, but it was part of a long-term dispute where Elon Musk refused to comply with other orders to take down alleged disinformation on the platform on freedom of speech grounds. Yada, yada, yada. It's been a whole thing. But the real discussion here for me is this part. In response, many users have migrated to other platforms, especially Blue Sky, which had only 500,000 users last Friday, but added 2 million new users in the space of a few days.
Brazil's a big market.
And our discussion question here, and I'd like to clarify something from the last WAN show. Some people
I couldn't even find that.
understood what I
no
meant.
idea what. I didn't remember you saying that.
What I said was that Brazil was a relatively unimportant market where Elon was making a stand, whereas he complied in other ones that were more important to him. And I wasn't saying Brazil's a small market. Brazil's not a small market. What I was saying was that it was a relatively unimportant one, and his principles were not being applied equally in different territories. Someone actually posted an excellent summary on the forum of what my point was, and I was like, yes, this. And that thread completely de-escalated.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not going to bring it up right now, though. But the conversation that I wanted to have here was,
What, I guess, but anyways.
are our current social media platforms as immortal as we think they are? Like, we've talked about this a fair bit, especially when there was all that hullabaloo over on Reddit with the API charging and all the like cool services and alternate readers and stuff that were getting shut down by, and then
practically nothing happened.
And practically nothing happened. And you've kind of lamented the current state where these incumbents have so much power and so much momentum and such a huge back catalog that they seemingly cannot be replaced. And yet, here we are. Twitter got kicked out of Brazil, and immediately Blue Sky got sucked into the void that it left. Immediately.
I suspect that this is pretty the only thing that can disrupt that space effectively right now. If you look at all of the social media platforms, they're all old. And I think that's largely because of technology gap and expense of startup, effectively. It's not very reasonable to try to make a YouTube right now, just to be honest. It just isn't. No one's going to compete with them. If Microsoft tried, they would fail. So, like, if that's the case, what are you going to do?
They couldn't even compete with Twitch, and that's
Streaming.
like, yeah,
Well,
just a small part of what YouTube is.
Twitch itself isn't even
Competing
super
with Twitch,
viable. So,
yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. That's a bit of a weird one. But, yeah, it's tough. So, like, maybe government disruption is basically the only thing that can cause that to happen. But I suspect, as we pointed out with Apple, that this is much more on companies' radar now. And I think some of these big... I don't know. I think the, like, hey, everything is good, yay, hooray, Lego movie is going to make people think that, like, oh, all these companies are going to be great now. I suspect just lobbying is going to crank up. Things like that are going to happen, and this is going to cool back down. Pettyverse, yeah, it's a cool concept for half of 1% of people. I think it's unlikely to really... I understand half of 1% of people are now extremely angry with me. But it's just, like, they've existed as options for a long time, and normies don't want it.
Yeah.
And maybe something changes down the line, and it becomes more viable, but right now,
Doubt
normies
it.
don't want it. It is what it is.
Twitter needs to fucking die. Elon just fucking ruined that platform so bad. Fuck Elon. That's all I gotta say. Fuck Elon.
If you're looking to add some new plugins to your Stream Deck, here's a few to try out. The Discord plugin lets you easily use Discord actions like muting your mic, toggling push to talk, deafening your audio, or even joining or switching through voice and text channels. This makes navigating through Discord a lot easier and perfect for when you're streaming. The volume controller plugin can set up an automatic profile for all of your audio output sources, making it easier and faster to adjust volume levels without having to go into your sound settings every time. You can also easily mute specific applications by pressing the Stream Deck key with its logo. Take your live content to the next level with the OBS Studio plugin. You can easily tap into your streams effortlessly and easily. Switch between scenes, toggle on and off different filters, activate media sources, and adjust or mute audio outputs for your stream. The Spotify plugin will let you play, pause, and shuffle your music. You can also tap into playlists and preview the song that's currently playing on Stream Deck's keys. Easily adjust the volume, add to library, and skip through with a single press. So, save this for the next time you wonder what to put on your Stream Deck. If you're looking to add some new plugins to your Stream Deck, here's a few to try out.
Didn't mean to hit that. How much is the 4.5 version? 100 fucking dollars for both versions? Come on now. Oh, well, fuck. It comes with the 4 and 5 anyways. How does this work? What's PayPal using as my default? Where'd it fucking go to, though? What's my default payment? Guarantee. Let's turn on 2FA.
this is the download speed that I was getting before making any changes, and this is what I'm getting right now after changing my settings. As you can see, it's the exact same Wi-Fi connection, and I've almost 50x my download speed just by tweaking a few settings on my console. You see, Fortnite literally releases updates every other week, and I know how painful it can be just to keep staring at your download screen for hours without it moving. Turns out, there is something that you can do on your console that will instantly help you boost your internet download speed significantly, and this is what I'm going to show you guys in this video. I'm going to show you my download speed before and after changing the settings to help me boost download speeds in real time. Now, before I show you all the settings that you need to tweak to increase your download speed, I just want to show you what my download speed is right now, and I also want you guys to see that it's the same Wi-Fi connection that I'm going to be using throughout the video. So I'm quickly going to run a speed test on the PS5 so you can see the download speed that I'm getting right now. So as you can probably tell, 4 MBs of download speed is pretty objectively bad. It's terrible to download large files, and just to demonstrate, let's see how long Fortnite would take to update with this download speed. So that's about 5 hours to update a 16 gig update file, which is absolutely unacceptable, and we're going to fix that right now. So the first thing that you want to do is head over to settings, then go down to save data and game app settings, then scroll down again to automatic updates and make sure to turn that off. Now the first few changes are minor, but they do add up overall. The last 2 settings I'm going to show you guys are going to make the most difference, so keep watching the video till the end. Now go back and head over to system, and again you're going to turn off update files automatically, and you're also going to turn off error reports, as that also takes up a lot of data. You want to make sure that you get rid of everything that comes in the way of you and your download speed. Once this is done, go back and navigate to network, scroll down to settings, and you're going to select setup internet connection. Once you're on this screen, make sure you select your Wi-Fi connection and press options on your controller and tweak the Wi-Fi frequency band and set it to 5 GHz, which is the fastest Wi-Fi frequency band that you can get for your router. After you hit OK, it's going to reconnect using the 5 GHz bands. Once you're done with this, press options again, but this time go to advanced settings. Scroll down till you find DNS settings and make sure to switch it to manual. And you'll be given 2 options to type in a manual primary and secondary DNS. The DNS we're going to be using today is Cloudflare, which is also the fastest DNS server right now. You can literally look it up. It's rated the fastest DNS globally, even ahead of Google's own DNS. And it's optimized for downloads and works the best for PS5. Once you've typed in the DNS, scroll down and switch your MTU settings to manual as well. Now, if your MTU value is already set to 1500, you can leave it at that, but if it's anything else, I would recommend switching it to 1500. And then we're going to go ahead and apply all of these settings. Alright guys, so we've applied all of these settings. We can go back and now check our download speed once again. So we've now got 261 MBs for download and 14 MBs upload speed, which is at least 50 times faster than what we had before. And this is using the same internet connection too. As you can see, Fortnite went from 5 hours left to download to just 15 minutes with the settings that I showed you guys in this video. That being said, let me know if this made a difference for your internet connection.
Stop.
If it did, leave that down in the comments section. With that being said, if this found this video helpful, do not forget to leave a like. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.
Welcome back everyone. Today in this video I'm going to go ahead and show you how to boost or increase the download speed way more faster on a PS4 using the same internet connection. It's just going to take a few steps to enhance the internet performance. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the video. So guys, here as you can see, I'm downloading a game for my PS4, but it's showing me that it's going to take more than 10 hours to download the whole game on my PS4. Now first, I'm just going to go ahead and test my internet connection. Now to do that, go to the settings and then go down to the network and then select the test internet connection. And once it's completed, here as you can see, my download and the upload speed is a bit lower. Now in order to enhance the download speed, now I'm just getting back from here. And first thing that you got to do from the settings, you need to go all the way down from here and select system, and from the system select the second one, automatic download, and make sure to untick all of this option from here. And once you're done, get back from here and then go down to report system software errors automatically and make sure to untick this option from here as well. And now once you're done, get back from here. The next things that you got to do is we need to change the DNS server for the connection. Now to do that, we're going to go all the way to the top and then select network and then go down to set up internet connection and then use Wi-Fi, and we're just going to select the custom and it's going to search for the available connection. So we're just going to select the name of the
So in this video, I'll give you some tips on how you can increase your download and upload speeds on your PS5. So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're probably downloading a new game. Let me know down below what game that is. My guess is some sort of Call of Duty. There's always a new Call of Duty game. It's like 100 gigs, but let me know down below. And by the way, I'll have links to everything down below in the description for everything I use in this video to help you increase your download speeds. So let's go ahead and get started. So number one, and this might seem kind of obvious to a lot of people, but make sure you get the fastest internet possible in your area. So there's actually some websites which I'll link down below and show on the screen right now, where you can type in your zip code, your address, and you can find your available internet service providers near you. And now you can go through here, find the fastest speeds. Now obviously fast speeds are going to cost more money, so you kind of got to balance that if you want to pay that extra money. But if you want the fastest speeds, you got to get the fastest internet. Now just for example, right now I have Spectrum. I have 1 gigabit down and 35 megabits up, which is pretty good for download. Upload's not the best. I just have Google Fiber, which is great. 1 gig up, 1 gig down. Highly recommend that if you can find it in your area. So tip number 2, you want to make sure you use an Ethernet cable to connect your router and your PS5. So basically, you'll take one end of the cable, plug it into your PS5, and you plug the other end into your router. So I'll put some links down below to good Ethernet cables. Right now I use a Cat 6 cable, which basically Cat 6 means that it supports 10 gigabits per second transfer speeds, which is super fast, faster than any internet service you're going to buy right now. But it's good to future-proof, and honestly, it's not that more expensive than Cat 5e, which is only supports 1 gigabit per second. So the reason I recommend an Ethernet cable is because it eliminates all the interference in the air. So if you're like an apartment building or something, you have a ton of different Wi-Fi signals from all the different tenants, and it's going to interfere, slower speeds. Ethernet cable, it's all wired. You eliminate all the interference, and you get faster speeds. Now the problem with the Ethernet cable is not always practical. If your PS5 is in a different room than your router, then it might not be possible to even run a cable. So in that case, I would recommend getting your PS5 as close to your router as possible, and vice versa. So you get a strong signal. Basically a strong signal means faster internet. So next, we're going to actually head over to our PS5, turn it on, and I'm going to show you some tips on your PS5. So when you turn your PS5 on, it'll probably be on the screen right here. Scroll up and to the right over to settings. Click on settings, and as you can see, you got a bunch of settings here. You're going to click on network. Now, once you get to network, you can see a bunch of different settings. You can change your Wi-Fi, plug in the Ethernet cable, all that good stuff. I'm going to show you a few things first, just to keep in mind. So, if you click on connection status, you can test your internet connection, which will tell you how fast your speeds are. That's a good baseline. You can also click on view connection status, which will show you some more detailed stats. You can see like your MAC address, your SSID, your security method, all this other stuff you probably don't need to see, but just a good thing to keep in mind. So that leads us into our next tip. So make sure wherever possible, if you're not using the Ethernet cable, make sure to use 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi instead of 2.4. I'll put some links down below to some routers that support 2.4 and 5, which most do nowadays, but I'll put them down below, some ones I recommend. And basically the reason I suggest using 5 gigahertz has more bandwidth, which means faster speeds. 2.4 has less bandwidth, which means slower speeds. Now the downside is that 5 gigahertz doesn't travel as far, so if your router is across the house from your PS5, it's probably not going to work as well as 2.4 because 2.4 travels further. But let me go ahead and show you where you can check this. So if for whatever reason you don't know what Wi-Fi you have, if you go down to view connection status, you can actually scroll down here. And as you can see, Wi-Fi frequency band in use, it says 5 gigahertz. So if that's 2.4, it'll say 2.4 gigahertz. If it's 5, it'll say 5 gigahertz. And like I said, you want 5 wherever possible. And also, like I mentioned a minute ago, you can see your signal strength here. So as you can see, I have 100% because I'm basically right next to my router right now. So you want that as high as possible if you're not using Ethernet cable. So now that you have some details, let me show you my internet connection speeds, and we can do some comparisons real quick. So as you just saw right now, I'm on 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. We're going to see what our speeds are here. All right, so as you can see, I have 241 down, 13 up, which is a little bit disappointing. Like I said, I have 1 gig down right now and 35 up from my internet service provider. Now, like I said, I'm on Wi-Fi right now, so I expect it to not be quite as fast. And also, we're limited by PlayStation servers, so if there's a ton of people downloading right now, we might have issues. Let me go ahead and plug in my Ethernet cable, and we'll do a comparison there. So now that my Ethernet cable is plugged in, I'm going to go to settings and click on set up internet connection so that I can make sure I'm on my wired LAN. So let's click on set up wired LAN, and it'll basically do everything by itself. Just click connect, and as you can see, it says connecting to network now. So on view connection status, you can now see it says LAN cable connected. We'll go back, go to test internet connection, and it'll tell us our speeds. So there you go, guys. As you can see, we have 780 down. We still only have 16 up, but it's a little bit faster. But the most important part for downloading games is the download speed. So we have 780 down, which is almost 3 times better than what we had before. So guys, make sure you use Ethernet wherever possible. Like I said, I have links down below to some good Ethernet cables. They're pretty cheap too, as long as you're not super far away from your router. But make sure to use that if possible. Now I also want to show you my 2.4 connection to show you that it is the slowest. So under view connection status, as you can see, it says 2.4 gigahertz. We're still at 100% signal strength. Let's go to test internet connection and see what it says. So our test is done. We have 86 down and 25 up. The upload is kind of sketchy, not sure why it's higher than the other two were, but as you can see, our download matches up. It's a lot slower. So obviously, 2.4 is the worst, 5 gig is the middle, and Ethernet is the best. Next up, I have a couple things that won't directly impact your download speeds, but they will improve your performance. So let me go back. We'll go to settings. As you can see, we're still in settings. We go down to storage. And first thing you want to do is, if you're running out of storage space, I highly recommend getting an M.2 SSD. Even if you're not running out of storage space, I highly recommend getting this because it actually reads games a little bit faster. I have a video I'll link down below on how to do this. It's pretty easy. It's actually super easy.
I don't fucking get it, man. something I'm freaking missing. is it having me do the fucking serial number again? God damn. I don't see where the fuck it gets that from. Hey Google, turn off light.